Welcome. Today, I'm tired of working on the portfolio, so I kind of just want to finish that so that I can move on to an actual fun thing. I also do this basically all day is React stuff, and it's kind of boring. I want to do something fun. I am also going to be AFKing on old school RuneScape because leagues came out this last week, and I'm having an enjoyable time. All right, let's go to where we left off. This is our mess that I have created so far. We've got all the structure there. The colors are really messed up because I tried to set up a color schema and it didn't work the way I wanted. The brand color that I was going for isn't even showing up. We're going to see if I can use my AI tool, and I'm only going to use it to set up the design better because I don't know a lot about design work. But then how do you learn? How would you learn it if you never do it? I'm going to do my best, and if it's still crappy, we're just going to accept the crappy. First, we got to fix this. We got this going yesterday. Let's finish this. There's not enough space here. We're going to go into repository sections, and we're going to add some space. I typed too fast. 24. There's a better way to do this. Yeah, because there's a way bigger space here. In theory, you're supposed to be able to go into this little layout and set your own default spacings that you want. This is mostly for UI that I use, which is called, what's it called? ShadCN? There it is. But you could set some stuff in here in the root and make up your own names. Like if I wanted to make up, for instance, like this section separator. That's not how you spell separator. Phonetically, that's how you spell it. What if I say section spacing? Okay. And then we'll just do something like 32. But this is CSS, sorry. Can I see any examples? Is there any examples over here? Oh, I have to set a variable. All right. No, that's if I'm using these as variables. That's incorrect. No, these are all colors. Normally, this is where you would set it. Is there a Tailwind config that I'm supposed to be messing with over here? Let's Google it. But I'll show you what I'm Googling. One as well. Set global spacing. Always put next.js at the end because then I don't know why, it gets smarter. And then the AI tells you what to do. I don't have a Tailwind config. We already been over this. Oh, okay, and then I can set the size. Okay, we could do it like that, and then you set it to whatever you want. I don't like 24, though. I liked 32. I think 32 is the way to go. Even though this is going to get kind of weird for when I start switching it to mobiles and non-mobile. When we do that, you can come into here. Well, first you got to save it. You can come into here and put it in here. But one small problem. We're going to make sure there's mobile. And then we're going to set one for... That's so much words. And it's in the wrong order. I don't like that. Too many words. It's too descriptive. My lazy brain doesn't like it. We're going to also set it to 8 REM, and then we can change it later if I don't like it. And the reason why we do that is that when we set all the sections this way, we can come in here and only have to change it in 2 places instead of 24 places and missing a buttload of problems. So now what you can do is go margin top, mobile spacing, or section... Actually, you can usually tell if you just highlight it. Yeah, it's not. What if I go like this, though? Well, that's exactly how you do it. Okay, section spacing mobile. If I spell it right. What's that do? It didn't work. What's this do? It definitely didn't work. Okay, so I'm definitely doing it wrong. Now, how do you use it? This is very undescriptive. Life is pain. What if I just do that? Well, when these guys do it, and I set it to like primary colors, it seems to be working. Oh, there it is. Okay, that's why that's working, because we set this to color. We're doing this in the wrong spot. So we got font, we got color, we've got... I bet there's one called size. I bet this will tell us exactly what we need to do. Color, container, D's, font, default, drop, eating, spacing, text, tracking. I bet it's spacing. So we're going to do spacing and add this in there. There we go. Yeah, that worked. Cool. That's a lot of words. We could say margin top, section, spacing, mobile. And that, in theory, should work. It didn't work. It didn't work. It didn't space it. Why didn't you space it? Also, what's this stupid... Why didn't it work? I wonder if I have to reload the whole server for it to work. It really should have margin topped that spot. I think I'm not smart enough for this fun stuff here. Just gonna leave that, and then we're gonna fix the rest of this stuff. I don't like how that's sitting over there. Flex to be like that, and then we're going to set a flex wrap. We're going to set the card size as well. We'll do 60. Ugh. Oh. Wonder if I can use a shorter description. We need to do something about this because this is gross. I kind of like it being 50 by 50, so this sizing should be okay, but it's not going to work very good for phones. We're going to justify around just so it centers it. I need to do that with the other ones as well. So if you're on mobile, it's just going to look like this. Why is there so much spacing in between the footer and the bottom? That looks weird. I wonder if it's because it's in the footer. What if I didn't have it in the footer? Get rid of the footer entirely. It gets rid of everything. Nothing happened. Whoa. I think I just crashed. Oops, no, I just accidentally clicked it. All right, fair enough. Fair enough. Whenever in doubt, just add a border. What? Oh, I did something wrong here. Refresh. Yeah, that makes sense. The CSS got very angry. Something a little kooky. It's probably because the height isn't quite matching. What if we get rid of the height maximum? That's what I thought. All right, we're just going to set a width. I don't care about the card, and the height won't matter too much until you get to this guy, and then it'll kind of matter, and then it's going to look kind of kooky after that. But I think I might have this be its own little like caret drop down. Or I can just not care about it. We can just leave it be. It's going to be angry, but let it be angry for a second. We're going to add an H2 in here, and we're going to call it, what are we going to call this again? I'll just say like public projects. And we're going to move the margin top. We're going to move a lot of this because the flex wrap is fine. I put the margin top in the wrong spot. Silly me. That is the H2. We don't want to do that. What I wanted to do was we want the text to be bigger. 2XL, something like that. No, don't like that. 3XL. That's a little better. Margin top 32. We're going to make this a flex and a flex column. We're going to add some space in between the title. And how am I doing these? Yeah, that's sitting there. We'll do a little description here. Let's go reference my currently live portfolio page. We got the core skills. We've got open source highlights. It doesn't have a description. And recent repositories. That is probably, because that's technically what this is. So, all on GitHub. Oh, this one looks so nice. Why can't I make it look that nice? All right, let's go back. So we kind of get an idea. I have lost the plot on what the hell I was doing here. Let's go back to this ugly thing. Oh, yay. Isn't that so ugly? So I removed a bunch of stuff about the justify around, and I'm putting it back in. All right, this is fine. We're going to just change up the color styles of this. I should probably do a git commit real quick. This is so lazy. Git at all. We're going to commit it all and just say, yeah, it's got the repos and stuff. We can commit this, and it's not too bad. Add section for newest repositories shown in card. Well, we'll just do that, and we'll add like a created cards for each repository. Add cards. You're supposed to just make this simple. Add button in card to take you to repository. We're going to get rid of all the greens and yellows. Let me think for a minute so I can get back to where I was. We're going to go back to the page here. What happens if I try to run Next and this at the same time? What do you think is going to happen? Let's do a fun little experiment. Yeah, that shouldn't have worked. Why did that work? That shouldn't have been able to run both, and it did. It totally ran both. It shouldn't have worked. This shows how little I know about how networking works because they're both running on the same port. It shows the dates. Oh, I forgot to get the date of when I uploaded this to add it to the card. We need that really bad. Okay, yeah. Nuxt is just overpowering the React version. So if you're ever wondering if you're running both at the same time, it might just be because it's running second, but apparently Nuxt is slightly more powerful on showing what it wants. Do we want created at or updated at? Which one's more important? Created at, because it's showing the most recent ones, but no, we want updated. We're going to do updated at. We got to go into repo, and we're going to have to change that and add one. Date, a date object, okay? The repo request is updated at, which is a string. So we're going to have date be equal to new date raw repo dot updated at, because you can just throw in that string and it will actually give you the date. Lovely. We're going to get rid of this console log. Fantastic. And we're going to come back into here and we're going to add that into the title card. We're going to leave the card title as it is, and we're going to come down here, and since we're going to be seeing what it's doing, I really hate how small it is. We're going to update that sizing. Do I just put a P? We're going to put a P in here, and we're going to put the date to a local date string, something like that. Invalid date. Okay. What do you mean it's invalid? Why did that happen? Why would you do this to me? I bet it's because of where I was pulling it. So if I console log that, what's it's going to do? Undefined. Makes sense. Updated at. That is where I'm getting it wrong. No wonder it's invalid. Uh-oh. What happened? Error objects are not valid as a React child. Really? Yeah, you're right. It's me being lazy earlier. Cool, we got our date. The date is also too big. We're going to need to turn this into a flex, obviously, and we're going to need to... It disappeared completely. That's not a good sign at all. Seems I'm doing this stupid. That's much better. Okay, so don't mess with the card header. We're going to flex this and justify. No, don't like the around. We're going to do it between. Much better. I really wish there was a separator in between here. What if I do border bottom right there? What's that going to do? It's kind of nice, but it's in the wrong spot. Why is this one being weird? The Fern of Sigma. That's awesome. Do you guys think of your own names? Like, was that a decision that you guys made? Like Cheese Clues and Fern of Sigma? Or was that like when you were a kid, you just let it autofill and then you were like, that's my online name forever now? I've always wondered that because a lot of people do that and then they just get stuck with it. Like my wife got that done and it was Miss Atom Bomb. And I'm like, that's actually kind of clever. She has not changed that name ever. You did not come up with this one? That's fair. I have changed names a few times, but now I will be Cheese Forever. My original name was McFluffers, and I did come up with that, and I'm not even proud of it. It's not a good name. It's a very niche song. I felt the vibe and just used a portion of it. Yours has meaning behind it, which is really awesome. Mine does not. I just thought the name McFluffers was funny, and that was the end of it. And then I made a whole thing about it, and I still use it to this day. I also didn't know what a fluffer was when I built that, when I made it. So I was just thinking something fluffy, and it sounds kind of funny. So I got made fun of it for it. But I refuse to change. Cheese Clues comes from RuneScape 3 Clues Scrolls. Interesting. I feel like if you're a developer, you either were really into RuneScape or you hate it with every fiber of your being. And there's no in between. It's like when you find out about drugs and it's the only one you've ever do for years, no matter what new stuff comes out in the future. You are absolutely right. It is like heroin, and World of Warcraft is meth. You know, one of them's a lot more chill, in my opinion. And Crimson Desert is like electric cigs. Say Cheese, and another NPM package. Okay, I think that one's safe to click. We're gonna check it out. Hold on. What's this one do? Say Cheese. Nothing happens. Say Cheese, please. What does this even do? I quit games about 2 years ago. So I am so far behind on what new games there are. I quit games to start developing. I learned a new skill because I was like, I want to make more money to be able to supply for my family better instead of just doing menial labor. So I quit all video games for 2 years straight. Just was like, I'm going to stop playing video games for the next 2 years because it's taking up too much time and I'm going to learn programming. The 2 years is up, so now I dabble. Only reason why I'm playing RuneScape is because the lease come out and it's only like a 60-day period. So at the end of the 60 days, I just stop playing games again for a while. And it's mostly AFK.